Hello, agents, and welcome to the 13th episode of the Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by myself, PkmnTrainerJ. Ingress Insights is a podcast all about the Niantic game Ingress. We're going through a few bits in today's episode, covering the 2024 badge, an update to the Ingress app, and the end of the Kronos event, and any other news and updates that have happened since. And we'll start by moving into welcoming everyone into the first episode of 2024. We're now in a new year, being 2024, and the Ingress team have celebrated as they usually do with the badge mentioned in last episode. We now know that the 2024 medal is available until Tuesday, the 9th of January at 12 AM UTC. So if you don't have it yet and you still want it for 2,500 CMU, then you can go and get it from the store until that time. Also got the Q1 2024 schedule already from Niantic, and that runs obviously until the end of March. It's looking like it'll be a decent start to the year, and obviously we'll be starting Ingress's 12th year in November, so that'll be something interesting to look forward to and to see how all the events and any new features they have go in the new year. I just don't know if there's anything further people are expecting and want. We did discuss last episode about the Ingress in 2024 thread. That's had a few more responses since, but I don't know how much the Ingress team checked the forum, unfortunately, to go through and see whether those are worth implementing. What they do check is the app, and we'll go through and discuss an update to that may be relevant as well. On the 5th of January, the Ingress team updated the app to version 2.132.1 and released that on the App Store and Play Stores. We used to get blog posts to update these. We've not got a blog post for this update, unfortunately. However, the update does say they've updated our analytics schema so we can better understand agents' game actions. So that's so they can understand what agents are actually doing in the game. This has got a few people concerned, a few people excited. So the concerns being that the team may get rid of features that aren't being hugely used. There was the example recently where Niantic removed a shared AR experience from Pokemon Go because it wasn't being used simply. So people are concerned that things that not a lot of agents do might get depreciated, even though there'll be obviously a core set of agents who really enjoy that feature. But it may be that they notice agents are doing more of a certain thing and add badges in for that. Obviously, like a kinetic capsule badge, because I do a few of those every day. That'd be nice for me. But we've got an update. We have to see what comes of it from there. So if you've not downloaded that update yet, you can go and get it from your App Store, Play Store, Samsung Store. I don't know if that's got a different version on it now than the regular Play Store. But go and update your app and then obviously join discussions, say what you think they may be planning with it. I'm just going to go off on a bit of a personal tangent here, but I do have a point that I'll get back to. So I'm currently looking for a new role in the gaming industry, hopefully in community. There's a few bits that I do that help towards that, but I've also tried to make connections with people in relevant industries and get advice and see what I should be doing. And as part of that, it's become quite clear that mental health in gaming has come to the forefront quite a bit. So one of the connections I've made has started doing Gaming for Mental Health, which is a charity, and they are running their event in February this year. And we're going to be participating as the podcast, doing our usual podcast episode that will be scheduled for the 25th of February. And we may try and do a live stream if I can figure everything out for Twitch and do a live Ingress Insights podcast at the time. But as I said, it's a good charity to donate to, which supports various things like Safe in Our World, which hopefully most gamers know as a mental health charity. And as part of it, if you do make donations, you'll be entered into raffles for game keys and codes. So you'll be helping people out and might win something yourself. I know people like those things, like when there was the Ingress donations to the Ukraine fund, where you could get gloves and cards and everything else and codes. Quite a few people did that. I think I've still got my gloves, and I think I got my Misty Hannah code from that as well. That was a little while back now. But as I said, we will be participating. I encourage you all to look at the website in the links and then see if there's something that you can do as a gamer, if you do any streaming, if you do any content creation, to reach out to them and see what you can do to help. Last year they'd raised almost $3,000 for the weekend, with over 100 hours streamed on there. So I'd like to help them try and break that record. I know mental health in Niantic games has been talked about before, whether it's good, whether it's bad, and that's something that we'll cover likely in the episode that we do in that February weekend. Just something to make you all aware of now. If you see our name mentioned in conjunction with Games for Mental Health, then that would be why. So, all that being said, I'm just going to move on and talk about events that have happened or are ending. By the time you're listening to this podcast, the January 1st Saturday, the first one of 2024, and the first one for some time where you can't get the badge if you participate virtually, has already happened. Unfortunately, I've not been able to attend one myself. I was looking to organise one, but unfortunately, the location understandably couldn't have their Fae empty for a few hours whilst everyone went off to play Ingress and then came back. I understand that 'cause it's one of their busiest days. I will look to see if I can attend one in February or March, but as I said, that's all over and done now. I'm wondering how the attendance has been for those events. It's gone back to in person only, but like I say, I probably won't be attending any unless I'm leading them going forward, I think. But I might try and get some in the second quarter of the year. As well as First Saturday having happened, the Cronus event will have ended by the time you listen to this podcast. I'm recording it a couple of days before, so it's not yet ended for me. But unfortunately, I need about 3,000 more points to get the next level badge, which isn't going to happen by the time that the event ends. So that's not a problem. I'm quite happy with the badge that I've got. I always like getting new badges. I don't know if there'll be anything that happens as a result of it. If there is, then I'll slide a bit into the podcast about it. But agents suspect that the 8 kilometre linking under fields will also stop at the end of this event. So I'm keen to see if that's happened since. And then finally, on the events discussion, it's just a reminder that second Sunday is next Sunday, the 14th of January. And that's again something you can do anywhere from midnight local time to 11:59 p.m. local time. And that's completing any 6 unique ingress missions to increase the second Sunday medal by 1 count. I myself got a new mission approved around Christmas time. That's, I think, the Merry Toastmas one that I've seen quite a few agents do. It was approved a few days after Christmas. I've not done it yet, so that's probably going to be my one for second Sunday to go out and do. But it's just as a little reminder to get any banners and things in that you want to do, because it does take time for those to get approved. And then we're going to move on to our features section now. We're continuing covering the previous years. So last year we covered Year 8's event, and this year we move into Ingress Year 9 Persistence. This badge is the one that looks like a panther, especially if you've got the Onyx medal for it. And it happened on November the 15th, 2021. One of the things that the Ingress team pointed out for this event especially was all the new things they'd done in the last 12 months. So that was including the scanner news feed, portal history, core subscription, hack streak, drone net layer, mission day second Sunday, key locker expansion, the NL1331X US Summer Tour, Adventure Sync, and Portal Scan meshing. And they posted a poll to see what the favourite feature was that had been added so far. The poll's still up and open on the Ingress website, and I'll link to that. But Portal History is winning as I record this years later at 53%. So that seems to be the favourite for agents from that time. And then they noted that to commemorate Ingress Year 9, they activated the following bonuses between the 15th of November 2021 and the 29th of November 2021. So it was the usual double AP for all actions, double deploy of level 8 resonators, the drone cooldown was reduced in 9 minutes, there was a double hack output of building gear like resonators and power cubes from friendly portals, and a double hack output of attack gear, XMPs and ultra strikes from enemy portals. This also came with a temporary boost of the inventory cap to 2,180 for non-core subscribers, and core subscribers got a double loadout core subscription for the next 30 days, so they'd get double amount of the items on there. And again, for the persistence year 9 medal, for that you need to have earned more than 0 AP from the year 8 anniversary, which is something we discussed they implemented during year 8. And then the medal distribution was same as previous years: bronze for level 3, silver for level 9, gold for level 13, platinum for level 15, and onyx for level 16 or recurse agents. And they also gave out a free bundle, which was 0 CMU, provided you had your account for longer than 30 days. And that was 1 fracker, 1 ITO EN transmuter minus, and 1 ITO EN transmuter plus. There was also a celebrating persistence bundle, which was 1000 CMU. You could purchase it 10 times, and it's just a flicker. I don't think that's really a bundle. And they also released the 2021 NL1331 digital kit, which was 19,000 CMU, and that included obviously the NL1331 2020 medal, 40 power cubes at your level, 40 XMP bursts at your level, 40 resonators at your level, 2 Aegis shields, 8 very rare multi-hacks, 8 very rare portal shields, 8 very rare heat sinks, 2 softbank ultralinks, 2 quantum capsules, which will now obviously have been converted to kinetic capsules, 2 Jarvis viruses, and 2 Ada reflectus. So that was quite a bit for 19,000 CMU. Obviously we're used to the badges now being like 30,000, including kinetic capsules and various bits. So that's not too bad. The digital kit did stay in the game store a little bit longer as well, and it ran until the 31st of December because some agents weren't able to access it. The team also shared a year 9 video on YouTube, which we'll link to and share. It's the Ingress Year 9 reflections of them looking back on it and looking forward to year 10. And it's got various agents speaking and saying what they're looking forward to and what they used. For myself, as a Wayfarer user, I think it was the first time that I saw Niantic Tintino's face, as he speaks on that video a bit later. And obviously, he's the main person now on the forums and Wayfarer spaces that you'll see speaking and sharing updates. So it's a bit odd looking back at that now. But I'll link to the YouTube, the forum post, and the poll as well, and you can see everything that happened on there in year 9. Then we'll move on to year 10 in the next one. and we probably won't recover year 11 because it's only just happened a few months ago, but it will be replaced with a different update after that. But I'll move on now to the feature that we'll be covering this episode. For our feature this week, we're going back to basics a bit and talking about glyph hacking. So when you normally interact with a portal, you can tap your hack button, get some items that way. However, if you want to get some better items, what you can do is long press on the hack button and slide up to the glyph hack button, and that will open up the command channel. And depending on the level of the portal, you'll get one glyph for level 1 portals, and this goes up to 5 glyphs for level 8 portals. You'll also have a certain amount of time to do this in and receive a perfect glyph bonus if you complete them all. And you'll also receive some glyph points which go towards your translator badge for doing glyph hacking. So what you can do on that is use the more, which is drawing a small upside down V to request keys, less, which is a regular way up V, small v, to request no keys. You can also enter simple, which is a short line to make it go at a slower speed, and you can do complex, which gives a faster sequence, which means you can farm things a lot quicker on there. So there's a various glyphs that you need to enter in. They do all have proper names, and there's some that I know off the top of my head, but others where unfortunately I've fallen into the bad agent habit of not calling them the right name. So whatever works for you, however you want to memorize them. If you want to do like I do and do left diamond, right diamond, upside down key, pope hat kind of thing, then do that. But if you want to do all the proper names for them, such as complex, simple, open all, then that's probably better to do. But this allows you to get better items and bonus items from the hacks. If you've not got any overclock portals or you don't want to do overclock, it's probably the better way of getting items. Obviously, it's a useful way of obtaining more than one portal key from a hack as well, if you're trying to build up your portal keys on there. But it's something that doesn't take too much time to do if you manage to get it right. There's sometimes special event glyphs as part of these. So we've had hearts and toast ones before as part of events. It's been a little while since we've had a new one come in, but as I said, it's recommended to do that if you're trying to get more items. And as I said, it does go towards your translator badge. Mine is currently on gold. I should probably get it to the next level by the end of 2024. So I've got a few portals nearby that I always glyph hack. But as I said, that's just a simple little thing on there that I'll link to more details on how you do that. And then we'll get this episode all wrapped up. Thank you, agents, for listening to our first podcast of 2024, episode 13 of the Ingress Insights podcast. Usually in this bit we'd share all our socials, but those are now just all stuck in the show notes, so you don't have to hear me ramble through them all. I appreciate if you followed them there. There's obviously going to be the usual poll and Q&As, which is useful if you interact with. And if you're feeling generous, then obviously rate the show on your podcast service of choice. Next time we'll be going through talking about the year 10 event and everything that happened there, and looking at any news and updates that have happened since. We do have a few guests scheduled now as well, so those will be slotted in as the show moves forward, and we're having people on to chat with, ask some Ingress questions, so you don't get fed up with listening to just my voice on this show. So thank you once again for listening to the show. I'll let you all go back to your Sunday and hopefully meet you all out there.